Here, and our focus is soul. The Soulful Weekend Show with Lady-Ann Mogowe.
Darling, where are you? How many know that God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly above all you can ask something? According to the power that worketh in us.
Hallelujah. How many believe it tonight? Somebody turn to your neighbor and tell your neighbor, he's able. Tell somebody else, he's able. Y'all ready? All you could ask for, according to
that is working in me. God is able to do just what He said He will do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able. He's able.
Thank you, Jesus. Come on, y'all, I need y'all to help me sing.
God is able to do just what He said He will do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able.
I believe it tonight. He's able.
He's able.
Somebody shout tonight. He's able. Hallelujah. We're going out.
God is able to do just what He said He would do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able.
Somebody shout again. Here we go. Yeah. I'm gonna sing this, and then y'all sing. Y'all sing.
What's he gonna do? Thanks for staying. Just the fun page. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna, I know, it's funny. Just put it there for now.
Somebody sing it.
He's able.
He's able.
He's able.
Yes, he is.
He's able.
He's able.
That's right. He's able.
He's able.
He's able. He's able. He's able. He's able. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on God. Don't give up.
Anybody ever wanted to give up? Has anybody ever wanted to throw in the towel?
Don't give up on God.
You got to be able. Don't give up on God.
He won't give up on you.
Weekend starts here, and our focus is soul. The Soulful Weekend Show with Lady-Ann Mogowe.
That was He's Able by Derek Haddon. Says, do not give up on God because He won't give up on you. I've gotten to a point where in my life I've given up on God a couple of times. I told you, Guti, I'm one of God's spoiled children. So whenever things sometimes don't go my way, I tend to throw my toys around. But I thank God for deliverance in that area, because I feel, Guti, I'm starting to mature more in the things of God. And I realize, Guti, when I am asking God for something, He may not necessarily give it to me at the time that I'm asking for it. But it doesn't mean ukuthi angeke anginikeze yona. So uNkulunkulu has stopped treating me like a toddler, where you know how toddlers are. When they want something, they will be screaming and shouting and crying. They will irritate you until you give it to them. But with God, he gets to a point where he will let you get away with that behavior, for a little while, especially when you're still new in the things of God. He will let you get away with that behavior. And the more you grow in the things of God, the more you grow in him, then he starts saying, you know what, Mahlako, now we're no longer drinking milk. Now we are chewing meat, and a chewing meat means sometimes you'll be, he will throw things at you. He will allow things to happen in your life, just like he allowed Job to be tested by the devil, because he knew what he was going to be there, So even in uNkulunkulu, even still now, he still allows situations to happen in our lives. And when those situations are happening in our lives, he wants to see what was the first thing that we're going to do. Most of the time, instead of running to him, we run away from him. And that is why we find ourselves in situations where because instead of saying, I'm going to hold on to this God, I'm going to be with him, I'm going to stay with him up until whatever situation that I'm going through, we do what? We run away. We start throwing toys. Oh, when in most cases, uyakunikeza ibisi back when you're screaming, but it gets to a point where noma uscreama kanjani, because he knows ukuthi manje isikhathi is no longer on your side. He needs you to go out there and preach to abantwana bakhe. He needs you to go out there and give whatever gift and talent that nikeze yona. Then he stops now treating you like a baby, and he starts being harsh on you. And that's when the things now, most of your tandas, is doesn't move up until uNkulunkulu gives you this grace and the wisdom to figure things out. And I think that's where I am right now, because that's why I don't even complain anymore. I will complain here and there, but I know the more uNkulunkulu allow my challenges, to come my way, there's a muscle in me that he's building. And I must say, you know what, it hasn't been easy the past 3 months, but I also thank God, because as he was challenging the other areas of my life, my spiritual muscle was getting stronger and stronger. As other challenges were busy mounting up, I'm sure the devil was so happy with, but what he didn't realize is that the more he throws in challenges, the more my spiritual muscle is getting strong and strong. And I can safely say, right now, I'm at the point in my life when situations are coming and are bulldozing me, I'm bulldozing them back. Like I mentioned before before we played that song, I mentioned when he SMSing, it's hey, sisi, you're still owing us, we're gonna send my lawyers. I'm like, if I don't have the money and there's nothing I can do, there's nothing I can do. But one thing for sure, I do not allow anything to take my peace. I do not allow anything to tamper with my peace, guys. If I owe you and I don't have your money, there's nothing, and there's nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately, Sisu or Putgabantu or MTN or ABSA or whoever you are, there's nothing you can do. But I won't allow you to tamper with my peace, because I believe in a God of miracles. I believe in a God who can provide. And at that moment, if he hasn't provided, there's nothing I can do. Guys, I used to have sleepless nights because of issues that are happening in my life. I used to have, at some point I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety because of situations that I couldn't change. And I realized, but Mahlako, why worry about something that you can't change? But ever since I've developed my spiritual muscle, I wake up in the morning and I get that call and I'm like, but there's nothing I can do. Have you ever told people, but there's nothing I can do? And I panic, guys. I'm one person who panics because I don't like to be on the wrong side with anybody. I want to see everybody happy. I want to be always right. But there's certain situations that are beyond me. Like lately, it's okay for me not to talk to certain people. Not because I'm angry with them, but I feel it because for my energy, just to protect my energy. I don't need them in my space. And I'm like, Mahlako, but what happened to you? You used to love people. You used to make time for people. I could be on the phone with people for, up until 1 a.m. in the morning. And after hanging up, I'm asking myself, but why am I left drained instead of being recharged from this call? Why am I being drained? Then I stopped, cutting those calls that are leaving me drained. And somebody could say, but you're becoming selfish lately. I'm like, no, I'm not becoming selfish. I'm protecting my space. That is why it's uNkulunkulu ukhona, and we are encouraging here on the Soulful Weekend Show to say, learn to protect your peace, learn to protect your space. Still be out there, guys. I'm always out there with people. I don't know how many people that call themselves my friends, and I call them friends as well. I'm always out there, but I'm learning lately to protect my space. Even if people are in my life, but I know who to allow and when. I know what to allow in my mind now. I know what to let go. I know what I need to deal with, and I know what I need to let go and pipe for some time. And if it's something I don't have an answer for it, angeke ngize ngisithuphe ngayo. So that can only happen once you start developing your spiritual matter. Guys, I'm going to repeat this again. I'm going to repeat this again, people of God. Human beings, we are spirit. The body is just this thing, it's covering. What is important is your spirit, is your soul. Because if your spirit and your soul are not okay, it is about you are bound to start to feel on your flesh, on your body. That is why you find a lot of people say, "Yo, I'm sick, I've got a headache." Trace it. If you can really take time, trace it back, you will find maybe there's something that you're stressing about. A lot of our sicknesses, they come from how we are feeling emotionally. But because we are not taught on how to take care of our emotions, of how to take care of our soul, people are telling us what we need to apply on our skin, what makeup we need to apply, the clothes that we need to wear, and we invest a lot of money, on that. But people don't invest money on their spirits. People don't invest money on their soul. We are here as life coaches. I'm a qualified life coach, yes. We are here as life coaches. We are here as therapists. We are here as counselors. People don't make use of us. And even when they make use of us, they don't want to pay. A person can just pick up a call. Yeah, I'm going through this and that, and want to talk to you for an hour. And for that hour, I need to charge. And when you start saying, but friend, you know that this is my time. And I mean, this is my bread and butter. I need to eat from what I'm doing. Yeah, but umuntu wakhona can go buy a handbag. Yeah, I don't want to be naming stores here. That is worth 10,000 rand. But when I tell them of about 1.5 that I'm charging for that hour, just to nurture your soul and your spirit, they complain. So we take care of things of the outside, how we look, because we always want to give people impression that we are okay. I've mentioned earlier that there were days where I would step out of my house looking good. Because when I dress up, looking good, feeling good, but inside, not feeling good, looking good, but inside, I'm not feeling good. That's what I meant to say. Inside, there's a turmoil. But on the outside, people are going, whoa, you're looking good. Oh, that shoe. Oh, that dress. But inside, they don't know what I'm carrying a lot. Hence, I said, you know what? As in using, they just need to stop now. God, I need you. And I decided I'm going to call upon God. And God, came through for me. He gave me brothers and sisters that are praying with me on a single day, that are teaching me the word. Guys, I've been born again since forever, but I've never enjoyed the word of God like I'm doing right now. And that is why I'm sharing these things on a public platform, so that you know as well. I'm not selfish about information, so that you know that you are a spirit. Whatever ways that makes your spirit be high, focus on that. If it's through reading, if it's through listening to music, if it's through talking. Some of us meet just by talking. When I talk, like right now, guys, as much as I'm talking, I'm giving you these things, I'm also ministering to myself as well. So we are gifted in different ways. So the important thing is to take care of the soul. My guest has finally arrived, exactly 8 o'clock. We're going to start with our interview. She's got an amazing testimony, and of how she has seen God in her life. The reason why every time on the show, I bring in different people to come and share about their life journeys is because I know as human beings, along the journey of life, we get tired and we feel like we're the only people that are going through what we are going through. And no, there are other people out there who are facing the same challenges as you. So I've learned to say, you know what, allow people the space and the platform to come and talk. Because as you are talking, like I said, as I'm talking to you, I'm also ministering to myself. The words are coming back to me. I'm reminding myself of certain things because, yes, I can complain. Sure, I know I can complain. But because I've got this relationship with God where it's a father and a daughter, and now I've got this relationship with the Holy Spirit, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, good morning, Holy Spirit. What are we doing today? So my plans are no longer about me. It's about the Holy Spirit asking God to say, usher me. Because in most cases, we are too busy wanting to put our own agenda there, and we forget that we've got a helper, somebody that wants to help us. And I've learned through the group and when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we say, good morning, Holy Spirit. What is our agenda for today? What are we doing? And you find this, it eliminates a lot of busyness. People are busy, guys. People are everywhere. And I used to be the people who are busy and everywhere. I remember a lot of people, they think I'm busy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm busy, but what was I doing? What did I do then? There's nothing of value that I've done on the day. Because why? I never involved the Holy Spirit. Guys, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. Whether you've seen me, I do dance, but if there's one thing I'm going to tell you, I'm not ashamed of preaching the gospel of God. Because I am here today. I am where I am in my life because of the grace of God. Because some people, they tend to judge you of the places that you go to. Mina, guys, I go to everywhere and everywhere. As long as there's human beings, uzongithola khona. Because one thing about me is that my calling is for people. So angijudge ukuthi bakuphi. If bahlele esportini, uzongithola khona ngihleli nabo. What is important is what I say to them. Because we tend to judge people, especially as Christians. We tend to judge people. So I mean, I'm not about that. I know I've understood my assignment, that my assignment is to heal people. My assignment is to encourage people. My assignment is to bring out the best in people. So la khona khona abantu uzongithola khona. If abantu basesontweni uzongithola esontweni. If basesportini uzongithola khona. As long as when I'm there, I'm doing what God has called me to do. So I'm still with you up until 9 a.m. and I'm excited. Also Lena is here in studio, joined by her husband. Talk about people who are supporting each other. I'm so excited to be having her, joining me exactly at 8 o'clock. I'm gonna play you one of my favorite songs, guys. It's an old song, but lately it has just come a part of my life that when I wake up and I'm like, God, I remember playing this song. I wanted something. I don't know what I was trusting God for. This was 3 weeks ago. I was trusting God for something. And I felt, this thing is not coming together. I woke up and I played this song. And I had a conversation with one person. And that person agreed to do everything that I wanted. And I couldn't believe we understand that he's about to do right now for me. But because I understood when you are worshiping, as you are worshiping, God is distributing your angels to go and touch people, to give you what you are looking for. So I'm going to be playing you a joyous celebration at Ntate Imang. Sing along. Listen to the first part, of the song. But I like the part where he says, if you can realize that wherever you are not alone. There's God. Let me play you Joyous Celebration while we wait for Lena to come into studio. She'll be joining me exactly at 8 o'clock. I'm looking forward to this interview with her. Please stay tuned to Tavalcom's radio. This is the Soulful Weekend Show with your girl, Lady-Ann Mogowe.
Holy Fele Mogitamaya Uyase Hapapanata Impana Yata Maisa Kicheso Kimu Impana Yata Maisa Jesus Kicheso Kimu
I'm gonna remove it now. I just want this to for how to be. We leave it now. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna turn the camera to you now. So that
It's a basic TV. So, Pototo, Mata, Kiahaya, Kimaya, Yakakawela, Antoinette, Kitorisa.
you can put Amadona as well if you want to, but if normally I don't, but you can so you can hear yourself. There's no one like you. Yes, finally, when yes, finally, when yes, finally, when
I've searched all over. I've searched all over. But that's
I'm sure you can agree, Oslina, that hayo otwanang limorena. I'm sure you can agree as the song is playing that kanete hayo otwanang limorena.
Oh yes.
Yeah, no, we have seen this God.
Oh yes.
We have seen this God, and
Oh.
yeah.
Hayo
Hayo otwanang liena. Kabele ka uhejeka like that as the song is playing, because I know of your testimony, I know of your journey, and I'm like, yeah, hayo otwanang liena. So I just had to play this song as I welcome you to the studio, because your story left me in awe. Your story healed me. Your story made me realize that I'm such a spoiled brat in the kingdom of God because I cry about everything. I throw my toys around. And seeing you on that day, because we met, because I was supposed to interview you about your single. I don't know how the Holy Spirit just ushered us in a different direction. But yeah, without any waste of time, please introduce yourself to our listeners and welcome to the Soulful Weekend Show. I've been wanting to have you in studio and thank you for agreeing to come to the show before you go to church. I just had to drop that in, to say before you go to church, you just had to come and make a tent by the studio so that we can, have this conversation. Who is Lena Mdakane? I know it's a simple question, but having to answer it, whatever that you're comfortable with sharing with us.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much. And good morning to listeners. Good morning to everyone. My name is Lena Mdakane, aka Malinas. I was born in Midlands, Zone 4. Born and bred there in Zone 4, Midlands. That's where I'm coming from. But I stay in Vetborg right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sistina, for that introduction. So you mentioned, because I know I've got a bit of, a bit of your life as an entrepreneur, as a singer, as a mother, as a wife, and in studio, guys. I can't wait for the day to get married. I wonder if there's one thing that I want to do. In studio, we are also joined by her husband, who is supporting her, a wife, his wife. Guys, this is just so beautiful because we live in an era where people, I don't want to mention the other name, but you also your other word, and people are also complaining about marriages. But when we spoke about that's part of you. The way you spoke with so much passion, you made me because marriage has been made as if it's so hard, it's difficult. But Unkununkulu, I don't believe that when he made this institute, he made it to Izos abuser. So how you spoke about your family, your blended family, your sister, there's just so much about you that I want we must get out of this because there's so many people out there that can learn, a lot from Ulina as an entrepreneur, as a mother, and as a wife as well. I want us to touch because we all have an hour to ourselves. Okay. So we're gonna talk about anything. So let's start with this. I've titled the message, I've seen the power of God in my life. What can you say about that? Let's maybe kick it off from there.
Oh, yes, I have. God has been so wonderful in my life. He has been so good. I
know, right? There's so many stories that you can tell about this God.
Yes, this God has been so wonderful in Billionaire. Firstly, because I'm joined by my husband. He's my number one supporter. Then I will start in marriage. Yami, because I'm joined by my husband.
Yeah. Please thank God that you mentioned that because I also mentioned it. People need to know that have you woke up this morning, he didn't just say, no, go ahead and go do your interview, but I'm coming with you.
He always goes with me.
Wow.
Whenever I have interviews, and he supports.
Wow, how amazing is that?
Yeah.
So can we start with Harvey? Do you want to tell us how you and Harvey met, or maybe where did you guys meet? Yeah. Let me just take you back to, look at that smile.
We met in Midlands, where I grew up, as Zone 4. When we met, I remember Yena, he was staying at Zone 4 where he grew up, but we met at Zone 2.
Okay.
We met through because I was accompanying Umtwana Namwasekaya to taking them to a school for acting.
Okay.
Yes. So when I went there, we went to collect the son.
Yeah.
He was outside washing the car.
Okay.
Then he looked at me and he said, "Hi." I said, "Hi, Baker. Oh, what's your name?" I told him what's my name. Then I went inside.
Yeah.
As I came outside, says Puma with the child. He said, "Can I accompany you to where you're going?" I said, "No, why?"
Do you even know where I'm going?
He accompanied me. I agreed.
Yeah.
We went together. We were going to town. We went together, took a taxi. you know.
Oh, it's in the taxi time. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah,
He
no.
left the car. It's
Oh,
just
so
for me.
he had the car,
He
but
left
you
the
but
car
now
because
I like
remember
that.
Tola Washimo.
Oh yes.
Yes. So he left the car, introduced himself to me.
Yeah.
You know, by then I said, yo, no man. Ufunani lo bhuti, you know. But naleso sineke to accompany us wasimela, you know. We went for lunch after abantwana beqeda, came back, and then I thought to myself, let me give him a chance, man.
Nice.
And see
which ways he's gonna go.
What
What is it about him though that made you to say, I'm giving it a chance? Is it because he, you know, the patience that you're talking about? What is it that you saw in Habi that made you to say, as in akekho bad, doesn't make a chance, man. He has mntana bantu.
Yeah. You know, the way he was talking to me, you know, the gentleness in him. I just saw the gentleness in him.
Nice.
You know, ngabona that character to say this is a character that
I can
ngahamba nayo. Nangaphandle kwalokho, you know, we as ladies, there are certain things that we look at.
Yeah.
When a man approaches you,
yeah.
we always have this box that we need.
We take you with the list.
Do
people still have the list?
I think so. Yes,
you
still
okay?
So there was this list, and I checked. I said, okay. Unama brackets, okay.
All right.
Okay. Beganama stashes, okay, tick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tick,
you know,
okay,
yeah.
Wow. Then when he was talking to me, I said, okay, yeah.
So we can work with this.
Yeah, we can work with this.
And Oslina, so you guys have been married for how long now?
20 years.
Excuse me, what?
20 years now.
Wow. And you still at low and you still, you know, Osaba, not that even when you're talking about it. What is the secret, Oslina? Because like I mentioned earlier, Guti, abantu sebayenze ngathi umshado is just I don't know, umuntu ngathi is something that I don't know. Somebody said marriage is a tool from hell. Something like that along that line. Is a tool from hell just to destroy umuntu. It's when I heard that as a person who still wants to get married, my heart was bleeding. And this was a guy. You know, I was one guy that I was playing golf with. And he said, I don't think I'll ever get married again. I think marriage is something that was just sent to destroy us. I was happy by myself. I was at peace. And then this person just came into my space. And right now I'm depressed. And I'm like, is it marriage? Or is it the person that you're dealing with? What is it? Where do we lose it along the way? Because I believe relationships are supposed to be beautiful. So relationships are supposed to make us better people. Where do we lose it along the way, Ostina?
Yes.
And maybe you can also refer to umshado wako as well.
Oh yes, marriage is a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful. It's from God.
Absolutely.
It's from God. And the one thing that we don't do as couples, when we have our partners, we don't ngathini as ningize umshado wethu kuNkulunkulu.
Okay.
The first thing that we need to do is to put God as the cornerstone of this marriage first.
Totally agree.
That's where we start.
Totally agree.
Then when he is the cornerstone, then remember you are from two different backgrounds. That one we need to understand that as we meet, we're not the same. We're different. So messy different, we need to understand one another.
Yeah.
And there are certain things that we will have to compromise between the two of us. Because now it's no longer about me alone.
Yes.
It's the two of us.
Yeah.
So if we continue now in marriage or in a relationship, continue saying mina. You know, mina does not work in a relationship and in a marriage. Because that you need to let go of or let loose. Now that you have someone in your life that you open up the space now for this next person. So you need to understand one another. Absolutely. And communication is the key.
It's very important.
Because if you don't communicate, you'll never ever understand one another.
Sure.
Yes.
And Oslina, if you're comfortable with that, what are some of the challenges that you had to deal with personally in your marriage or challenges that you had to deal together, no hard, because it doesn't have to always but yeah, we are stressed. What are some of the challenges that you guys went? Yeah, in fact, let me put it like this: that you and hubby went through together. You know, that you look back and say, "Yo, it can only be God."
Yeah.
In your marriage.
Yeah. Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. Firstly, let's start here. I'm not afraid to say this openly.
Yeah.
Because I think this will help a lot of women out there.
Yeah.
Mina, I came with a child in my marriage.
Okay.
A daughter.
Yeah.
And then my husband also came with children. Not a child.
Not a child.
Yes.
And one.
Yes. Yeah. And then Mina is another one.
And there's children.
There's children.
Yeah.
Already there. Banabo mama about those children.
Aksu mama.
Aksu mama.
Oh, hey, Sislin.
Yeah.
I know this one is going to help a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you need God. Ask for strength from God.
Yeah.
So that you can be able to handle.
Yeah.
And have that love. You know, me now with my children, I don't have a stepchild.
There's nothing as a stepchild.
There's nothing as a stepchild.
Yeah.
Never. Those are your children. And Tina, as the husband and wife, we need to teach these children that this is your mother, this is your father. Yes. So you don't have to treat them differently.
No.
Give them the same love. Both of them. What you do on the right hand, do on the left.
Sure.
Don't separate. So I think, Mina, that's how we survived. It was a challenge at first. Remember, children who are grown up already, and now you have a child, he has children, and he's introducing these children. Others, they feel as if you took their father away from their mother.
Yes.
And it's not like that. You know, so it won't be easy for them to just say this is our mother. So you have to deal with that also.
Sure. And how did you overcome, Sis Lena? Because I can tell you, I mean, I'm sure you guys were young when you met, and this man comes with Abantuan. How did you get to a point where you say, let me accept this man with his kids? Because I can tell you, I'm also umuntu onumntwana uyi-one, and I'm telling myself I still have a potential of marrying somebody who doesn't have kids or onumntwana uyi-one. Then if God decides to give me somebody who's got 10 children, then I know Wuti is not going to be something that, okay, now because I've got people like you, and I mean, I love a big family, and I can see Wuti, my biological clock is not on my side anymore.
Yeah.
So I know it's going to be easy just to, accept that man with a lot of kids. But for somebody who also, but there are women that no, I could never deal with that. So when I'm with you, what made you come to this thing of saying, it is fine, but I'm going to focus on my husband? Because besides the kids and the baby mamas, as we call them, he is still unique.
Yes.
Do you understand what I mean? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. We judge men based on whatever that has happened in their life. You understand what I mean?
True.
Because right now he can say, okay, Ushuguti, he was a player. Why did he have a lot of women? Why did he leave them? They don't know his reasons.
The reasons.
So what made you to say, irrespective of what I'm seeing right now, I'm going to focus on this man?
I like what you said earlier. You said God might give you the man with 10 kids.
Yes.
God has plans for us.
Absolutely.
As we have our own plans in our lives, and we forget that there's someone who's controlling our lives. That's why we see Uguti, there's someone controlling our lives, because our plans, most of the time, they don't succeed. They don't come to pass.
Yeah.
But his plan
always comes to pass.
To pass. It was him who gave me the ability as my children. Because me as Ulina alone, without God, no, never.
Excuse me, what? Like,
yes. But God, because it was him, he planned this. And then he said, I'm going to give you the heart
to
accept, and I'm going to open up your heart to love them as your children. He made things easy for me.
And then now you've got beautiful
children. Ngathi abosisi bakho, I
I'm
saw the
telling you,
picture,
they're
the
my
other day, I'm
sisters.
like, hayibo.
Yes.
Mara icebo likaNkulunkulu lihle sisibili. Yes,
Lihle.
icebo likaNkulunkulu. I like the part in the Bible where it says, many are the plans in a man's heart, but God's plan is the one that, you know, when I look at my life and the plans that I had for my life, I thought I was going to get married at the age of 27. I thought by now I'll have 5 kids living in a mansion somewhere. And now here I am, you know, how many years old now? How many years old? I only have 1 child. And I'm like, but it's one thing for sure.
Yeah.
The desire to have a lot of kids is still there.
Yes, it's still there.
I can be how many years old that I am, that I feel good, oh my goodness, like I won't be able to reach that number. But the desire to have a lot of kids, and like I'm saying, even if a guy comes with 10 kids right now, I'm so happy to take over. And I don't even want to know what else, as long as he gives me the wisdom. And seeing about Abafana now who are doing this so well. Because a lot of women, they've got a challenge of accepting abantwana
That's very true.
and I want to find out what in essence as abafazi, you fall in love with a man who's got kids, but you are happy to love the man alone and not his kids. How do you sleep at night as a woman knowing what you ubaba wabantwana akekho in communication, doesn't support abantwana, but abakho la endlini bayadla? And then you claim and say, Lena, you love your husband. Because there are women, I know what in most cases we are always bashing men. Men are this, men are that, men are that. But us as women, we can be as toxic sometimes. So I want to know what in how to advise umama out there who is in a relationship with a man onabantwana and saying, manje ngoba soshade nami, labantwana labangafuni.
Yeah, I know it's happening a lot. Women, there are some women who are like that.
Yeah.
But I would like to advise, you know, when you love someone, you must love someone nomthwalo wakhe.
Absolutely.
It's selfishness if you come now when you have kids and the husband has kids and then you don't want abantwana bakhe, but you only want abantwana bakho ukuthi kube yibo abanakekelwayo abathandwayo, you understand? That's selfishness.
Sure.
So into enkulu ekufanele uyenze ucela uNkulunkulu ukuthi akuphe lenhliziyo yokuthi ubamkele labantwana ubathande, because the minute you said ngiyamthanda, umthanda nako konke kwakhe.
Exactly.
So into esihlale siyenza thina abafazi most of the time, it's us women, siyathanda ukuthi sizama ukushintsha abantu.
True.
And leyo ngeke iziyenzeke. Yeah. So umuntu ushintshwa uNkulunkulu. If athe ufuna ukumshintsha uzomshintsha, if athe angeke azamshintsha.
Sure.
I always hear people say umuntu angeke azashintshe, umuntu akashintshe.
No, people change.
Man, I know that people change. People change.
As long as you're not using your own strength and power and allowing God to change him.
It's very true. As I said before earlier, Uguchi, we are from 2 different backgrounds. Mina, my husband, when I met him, he was this man oti uzwilakhe ngikhuluma nanko hlela.
As my
mekethe kunjalo ene kuzogcina kunjalo ene namanyazi lento ngiyathuka. I'm like, but I have an opinion also. Nami ngifuna ukubeka umbono wami, you know. Yeah, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then what I did, I went to God in prayer. Ngathi Baba, I understand and I know what this man is from you. And I don't want to change him, but ngicela ukuthi wenze ukuthi lo mshado usebenzeke. Because mina, Ezulina, I cannot live like this.
Absolutely.
I need to have an opinion nami ayizwe sizwane. You know, I cannot stay in a relationship and in a marriage where ngifila ngazuthi ngiyacindezelwa as a woman. So I gave all that to God. Because
you didn't do it with your
alone bengenze ngikhone bekalishaya inyawo athi ngithi kunje. But I saw God in him. I've seen God changing this man. Like every day I'll wake up, he's a different man. And because I know this man. I know when I say this, he's gonna do this. You know? God will prove me wrong. Yeah? And then I saw him, you know, changing each and every time. Today, even if family like they used to ask me, ukhona kanjani, uphila kanjani, because they know him
It's
to
a-
be
it's his
a
character.
strict man.
Yeah.
The character is
Yeah.
like that. Yes, the strictness is still there as the
Yes.
character yakhe, but
Yes.
now to me, soft now he's a banana. That's
You
what
guys
God has
can
done. You know,
work together.
now we can work together, we can communicate. That's why I say God can change a human being, not you.
Talking about working together. Now
Mhm.
we're jumping as Ulina as the
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yes.
And also not leaving the husband behind. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
What does Mrs. Lena do? What does your day-to-day look like?
Yes, as you've said, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businesswoman. We are in the electrical engineering business.
Yeah.
We doing rewinding of electrical motors, AC and DC motors. So that's a space that is occupied mostly by white people.
Mhm.
Is dominant on that part wise because engineering kakhulu with us abantu abamnyama
It's something that is
something that
only now.
esikhani singena kuyo manje, but then we are in that space. We bless God for that.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Because
Yeah.
when you told me about the journey of how you got there, in fact, we still have a bit of time.
Yes.
How did you get into that space? Is it something that you went to school to study? How did you get into engineering?
Okay, it's my husband who went to school
Oh,
to study that.
okay.
Me, I was in the hospitality industry, different industry from
Yeah,
his.
hospitality in the
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, far much apart.
You know?
Yeah. So now we go to work. Every week he's complaining when he comes back to work, he's not getting enough money and
Sure.
all that. And I'm always frustrated every week when he comes. I know he will say,
Complain
there's no
about that,
money, there's no,
yeah.
you know, so I saw a gap there. Because me, I think I took a business from a bloodline yakbo babam.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, yeah, I grew as a person who loved business. I will sell sweets at school. I will sell things at school growing up. So business has been my passion. And I also had Ispaza shop, a Jartini in our house. So ngati no man. I cannot stand this complaining all the time, complaining about money. One time I said to him, you know what, because I saw there was this thing when he's at home and maybe he's off or he's on leave, they'll call him at work to come work. Then I said, it means he's good at what he does at work.
Yeah.
So why not, let's open this in his trade
Sure.
and open a business. Then I sat down with him and I said, honey, I call him honey, let's talk about this. Why don't we try and open up a business in your trade, you know? Then he was like, what? I said, yes, let's open a business in your trade.
Talk about a wise woman.
Yes, because it's like it's you. They trust you at work, so it means you can do it. He said, oh, okay. He gave it a thought. Then he said, okay, I'll think about it. Then he went visit somewhere. When he came back, he said, I gave it a thought. Let's do this. Let's do this, baby. I said, okay. Then what I'll do, me as a woman, then I'll start doing some inquiries and
put this thing together.
Wow. So that's how it started.
Wow.
I started doing that, and then, you know, research about this electrical engineering, what they do.
Whole hospitality person researching about engineering.
Now I'm researching. now I'm now I'm excited about this industry now. You know, then when he comes back from work, then I ask, Nenzani, what's happening? You know, now I'm interested. And then he tells me, this is what we do, this is what I do, you know. And now I say, okay, this is good. Okay, let me push this. As a woman, let me push this.
While he's still busy.
I pushed it, then we went to brother wake because we are 4 in the company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to brother wake who is in the same industry, who was working in the same industry now.
Yes, him. Okay.
Yeah, as him. Then we went to him. This is what we are thinking. So can you join us, please? Siqale le nto. Then the brother agreed and the wife. And then by then, the wife was not working. The three of us were working. So Tinaiti that had to resign at work.
Oh, okay.
But then what I did, I resigned Mina without him knowing.
Oh my gosh.
So that
No.
I can push this.
And be hands-on.
And be hands-on. It wasn't going to happen.
So mina kubona uhlele endlini ungayimsebenzini bothi
Listen, I had to come up with a plan because remember now he's complaining about his pay
and
every
we need to
week.
move.
And we need to move. And then now manje kufanele ngihlale ekhaya ngipushe le. I can see ukuthi umsebenzi wami I won't be able to push this thing
Juggle, yes.
to juggle ngisemsebenzini, you know. Rather let me resign. I resigned without him knowing. They threw me a farewell party at work. Anga's next.
Yeah.
Because I had to do this. Anga's next ngabuya endlini ngathi eish emsebenzini basimisile, you know, kune problem. Basimisile, there's a problem. So they will tell us when to come back. All that. Then he believed me. I said, good shot, then that's fine. I'll tell him one day that no. Actually, the truth is this one. It's because I had to do this.
Because he wasn't going to allow you. Because
no.
Taking a risk, because business is taking a risk, you know?
He wasn't going to allow me at all. So that's how we started this business.
Wow. And where are you guys now? I'm sure even that department, you have seen the power of God. Since we are on this topic of, I've seen God in my life. I'm sure even in that, as much as you saw God in your marriage, Him allowing you and giving you the wisdom to accept ubaba and abantwana bakhe, and having to deal with different characters, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure even with the space, you saw the power of God.
I saw the power of God. Yeah, with this one, that's where we saw God working with us. Like, I saw God working with me, holding my hand and say, let's go, my baby.
Yeah.
That's how I trust God. Because when we started, as I told you, we didn't even have money to start this business. So as we resigned, it's me who started, he followed, our brother followed. So we didn't have money. We didn't even have office space to work.
Now
we have done a proposal at Prasa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because we've done a proposal at Prasa, because I used to ask him where you were working, which were your clients and all that. Yes. And then Satoli information from there. And then we wrote an email to Prasa, sends a proposal to say we would like to be one of your suppliers at Prasa. So we sent in the proposal.
How you move, girl?
Yes, girl.
How you move? Hey, well, I yes. I'm so
that was our first client starting the business.
Wow.
Yes.
You've seen this God.
Yeah, we've seen this God.
Wow, as a black company.
Yes, in this engineering sector.
But in the
email proposal. Yes. Then they responded to the email. They said, okay, we'll call you guys to an interview.
Yeah.
For you, Utinis present again and do the presentation. And for me and the brother's wife, Tina says next on it, space engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's them only, the two brothers who knows. Looks at Babuza. Yes, Cheleni Pel.
So you're meeting in now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Cheleni Pel. We need to have an input and all that. So the presentation went well.
Wow.
After a presentation, after a week, they send an email to say, we'll give you a chance.
Wow.
We liked your presentation.
Wow.
We'll start you.
Sure.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome news. Prasa was big. Still big.
It's still big even now. Yeah.
Even now.
Yeah.
Prasa then, like when you say you are a supplier, Prasa, more especially in the engineering side, like, wow, how did you get in? That was the power of God. You know? That's how we saw the power of God. And that time we don't even have a workshop. Now they have accepted to say that yes, we'll start you.
But isn't it that they need to come and check where you guys work and do,
Yes.
yes.
Assessment.
Assessments,
So
yes.
what we did now, we had to approach someone on a workshop
Okay.
to say now we need a space. So my husband went and asked a ex-colleague yake who was working with this guy from Nisida Technologies. Waya kuye wathi umuntu ongakafuni abantu who will share the space with him. And then he agreed for a meeting. We went to a meeting and then we presented our case. And then he said, yes, guys, I need people here to share the workshop with.
Sure.
That's how we had the workshop now.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Look at God.
He's channeling.
Yeah. Because now you got approved.
We got approved.
You need
so we need to have a space where maybe let him sebenzi, then we know which is sebenzela.
You know, Mokumaga, this is Lena Mdakane of a conversation that we had when we met. And I told you that I'm in the process of applying for something.
Yeah.
And I said, Lena, I don't even know how I'm going to pay for it. This and that. I was panicking. And you said to me, go do it. Because I was when I met with you, I was thinking I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yes.
But when you said to me, go do it, I went and I did it. And when you came back, like, yeah, no, there's this and then we can't do this. I'm like, yo, okay, but she said there's a God.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
Guess what? You know that thing is approved. When it got approved, I'm like, okay, fine. Where am I going to get the finances for this?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I went on a stressing foot.
Yes.
I remember sending you a message like, no,
Yeah.
God will provide.
Yes.
Guess what? God provided.
Yes. That's
Your
God
faith.
for you. That's
Your
God
faith.
for you. It's because when I said that to you, it's because Mina, I've experienced with God.
Wow.
So I knew that He will never, ever, ever disappoint you.
Wow.
And not disappoint me as well, because I was
Your
bold.
faith. You were bold when you told me about your
to
faith.
say, hey, go do
this.
it. Go do that. Yeah. Because I knew.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, I was done with it. I said, you had me.
Make a show.
Yeah.
And the way it
Yeah.
happened, the way the process happened, I was like, hey, bro, did this just happen? To a point where I haven't even told people who are close to me about it, because I'm like, I want to go sign on the dotted line.
Yes.
So that the
Yes.
day goes to sign, that's when I can pop the champagne. I'm like,
Yes.
but already everything is done.
Oh,
And
bless
it
you.
happened so smooth. And that's exactly how it happened even with your company.
Yes, that's God for you. If you trust Him, you believe Him, and then that's what He does for you. Look, you must trust God with your all. You know, I always say to people when they're going through situations, and they will say to you, but this is a reality ET. Now the situation is like this. This is the reality. Let's face reality.
What is reality?
I always say, what is reality? God is
What
reality.
is reality to God?
When I'm telling you about God in your situation, it's because God is
And
reality. So when you say, let's face reality, I don't know what you're talking about.
this is you are saying to me, let's face God.
Yes.
Because to me,
Yeah,
God
to
is
me,
reality.
God is reality.
Yeah, I like that.
So yes. So when I say to you, as I said to you, do this, girl.
I don't know what
he will do it for you.
reality
Reality,
because
which is God.
it looked so I couldn't qualify. They just came back and they looked at my name like, you don't even qualify. But we can help you if you do 1, 2, 3. And the 1, 2, 3 is like, to me, where would I even? And I'm sitting like, God, what's going? He gives you an idea. Approach this person, say this, and even gives you the words to say.
Yes, that's what it does.
God created a scenario, a situation. I'm like, hey, yeah, but here we are today.
That's what it does for you. So Tina, he has taken us, in business. As we've started a business, now we are starting. We have now a workshop. We must pay 34,000.
That belongs to you.
And then it was belonging to that guy.
Yes, to that guy, because we had to approach the
We
guy.
were sharing.
You're sharing with him. Yeah.
Yes, we're sharing. So now they are giving us work now. And they say to us, your job must wait for 6 months before we pay you.
Nice. Yeah.
So that we see, because we're dealing with a prasa, we are dealing with rotating machines.
Okay.
Where there's engines, Zama training, we're fixing that. There's these things called amateurs and all that. So we're fixing those amateurs. So it needs to be on the train, rotating for that 6 months without fail.
So they want to see if your product.
They want to see if your product is gonna work.
Yeah.
Yes, because we were on trial. So we had to wait for 6 months before we could be paid.
Sure.
And it needed a lot of money to fix those motors. So we had now to approach, now we need money. We need
Yeah.
finances for the business. Yeah, the problem started now.
Sure.
We must go out now and look for funders. Where do we start? We are new in business and we don't know where to go. We approached one of my umuntu engikhule naye, same street, who was a businessman. Then we approached him. I say, look, my brother,
This is the situation.
this is the situation. This is our business, and we've got this from Brasa. Now we need money. Can you please borrow? And then he said, okay, I can do that. But then now, how do I secure
How do I
my
make sure
investment?
that
How do I make sure that my money will come back? Then we say, okay, we'll make you a partner to secure your investment. Then he agrees. He gives us the money. We start. Now we have to buy material and look for new clients. Now remember, we're still waiting for Prasa to approve.
To approve us.
Yes, and then we must look for new clients now. Rent is piling up. We must pay their bills to pay now. We have a business now. They've given us an office. We bought a desk with a loan, 2 desks, nama computer too. So that's how we started the business with the loan, 80,000 rands.
And with the kind of a business that you're doing,
I'm telling you. And people are like, how do you cope? This business needs a lot of money. Remember, sisonke business in a sustenance.
So you can't say Gubaba.
And abantwana ngapha, we need to take care of the kids now. Yeah, it wasn't easy. But God.
But God.
Yeah, but
I
God.
always want to come back to but God.
But God.
Sure, sister. So how are you guys now? How is the business doing?
We bless God.
We bless God.
Prasa came through. We worked with Prasa. You know what happened at Prasa with their internal issues. Now for 3 years, the business, it stopped.
Sure.
Like it stopped operating because our main client was Prasa.
Yeah.
Now we have moved from that business because we're getting now a business from Prasa. We have moved from the old premises. We have our own premises now. And now we're happy and it happened.
But why does God wait for us to be there? They say, I allow another challenge. So when's at that moment? Because I think we are gegele, ube stage. That's so comfortable corner. There's something with
yeah. He wants to remind you, Gutela, it's me.
So when it happened that the business was now not doing well, did you go on a panic mode or you went back to your God? What did you do?
We went back to our God. Where else we would have gone?
Some people, they that's when they take a different route, Lena.
It's true.
I don't want to lie to you.
No, Gwana, it's true.
It was knocked on my head to say, why don't you?
I've seen people doing that. I've seen people doing that. But with us, I thank God for the faith that He has given us. Because it can only be Him who gives us that ability to have that faith. You know, I trusted God. You know, even my husband, Begaba surprised sometimes. In a negative situation, I will prophesy positive. Even now, I don't want someone who prophesy negative in a negative situation. Because I feel it's not even I feel. The word has got power.
And they create.
You know? And this tongue's got power. Whatever you prophesy, it happens exactly like as you are saying. So that's why I would prophesy positive. But he will come through for us. And little skati kunzima nami ngiyabona, and when they say mengithi akunabunzima ngiyamkhomba ngithi uyangizwa ngithini. Yeah, because I trust you, so come through.
You will come through for me.
Yeah, come through, because this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm telling your children to say.
You better act.
Yeah, so you better act. That's how I trusted him.
Sure.
So it wasn't easy for 3 full years. Business, we nearly closed down the business, but we didn't. Because of the faith that we had in God and the vision of the business that we had to say we can never say it's over until God says it's over. Yeah.
Wow.
Because we were seeing him, ukuthi, God is here. We still
in the midst of the
in
storm.
the midst of this, he's here. Because siyakhona ukulala and akekho ogulayo. Between the four of us, it's tough, but akekho ogulayo.
How amazing is that?
I'm telling you, you know, ubhuti bekanokushaya ikhanda, i-stress message simphethe kahle, ashaya ikhanda, shaye, you know,
Yeah.
we'll tap his head, and we will just laugh at him and say, hey,
Uzoshaya mara kuzobuya
kusukile,
usabuya. Yeah.
kusukile. But it was tough. Me, I would just dance and sing in the midst of those troubles, and he would laugh and say, Malinas, he used to call me
Yeah.
Malinas. That's why today my
nickname.
name is Malinas.
Your name, yeah.
Yes, I'm Malinas because that name is from him.
Yeah.
So for my gospel name, then I
Oh,
said
so you had
Malinas.
to use it.
I
Nice.
used that one. Yeah. So he said, Malinas, you are dancing, you are smiling, and you are seeing ukuthi kunzima la. Then I'll just laugh at him. Then we'll console each other to say, Kuzoba right.
Kuzoba right.
Kuzoba
I know whether you've got that positive. Even that day,
Yeah.
because I was so frustrated when I met with you that day. And I'm like, this woman doesn't see the frustration in me. And you get to say, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you get to smiling because we've got this smile that just makes the person say, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But you see how all of us, we are born with something unique in us.
It's true.
I was telling our listeners earlier, and it's this one thing, Sister Lena, you're not going to take away from me.
Mhm.
It is the voice that heals. It is
Yeah.
the voice that brings encouragement to people.
Yes.
When I'm one of those people that I could be going through something in my own personal life,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be able to take myself out of that.
Mhm.
But when I'm going through something and I find somebody to speak to,
Mhm.
their situation change.
It's
So even
true.
with you, because I was so frustrated that day. You looked at me like, it's gonna be okay. Like you made it as if it's gonna be okay now.
Yeah.
And I moved away from a meeting believing, hence I was
Mhm.
able to go apply for that thing that I wanted to apply for.
Yes.
And guess what? I got it now.
Yes, yeah.
Because you kept on saying, it's gonna be okay. And you're looking at me like this. I'm like, does she understand? Does she understand what I'm going through right
And
now?
you were so frustrated.
I was so
could
frustrated.
see,
I was even
could see.
crying in a
And you were
restaurant.
crying in a
And
restaurant.
people
People
were
were like,
I
"What's
wonder this woman, what is she doing to her?
Yeah.
And it's something that people don't know because
Mm.
I'm such an energetic person.
Mm.
I'm always vibing everything. People don't know what
Mm.
I'm such a cry baby.
Mm.
And that day I couldn't hold it back. I cried.
You
Yeah,
couldn't.
I couldn't hold it
Yeah,
back.
you
But you
couldn't.
smiled and you was look. And at that time you're telling me very hurtful things that you
Yeah.
went through.
Yeah.
And I'm crying and you're looking at me smiling and I'm like, so I understand maybe your brother, to say, yeah, Malina's like really.
Yeah, like
We're
really.
going through a situation and whenever you're laughing, that is
Mm.
your strength, Sis Lena. And ever since that day, that's why every time when I text you, I'm like, thank you so much for reviving my faith. Because I felt like I was dying. I felt somebody forget a pulling what deep in my head. I was fighting for survival that day when I met with you. Right now, you're looking at the happy person that is
wow.
looking forward to starting the journey
Oh,
that I'm
wow.
about to embark on this week because of what you helped me to say, go apply for it and you're gonna get it. And I
Aish.
did it. I'm like, oh, look at God.
Bless God
Look
for
at
that,
God.
you know.
That's why today I decided we're gonna title this message with I have seen the power of God in my
I've
life.
seen the
And
power
with
of
these few
God.
minutes that we are left with, Sis Lena, I
Mhm.
want you to encourage somebody who's listening and they're saying, but you don't understand. I just lost a husband. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I just lost my job. They just told me that I'm HIV positive or I've got cancer. I've got only 9 days to live. What are we saying to these people? Because people are caring the most.
That's
You know,
true.
there are people Abafana and I mean now looking good from the outside right now.
Mhm.
You're looking all pretty, you're beautiful. Somebody cannot even see that maybe
Mm.
there are problems. Because I say people hide their problems so well.
Mm.
We dress up good, we go to all these fancy places, we drink up
Mm.
until the wee hours of the morning, not because we want to, but because we want to numb the pain. We want to quieten the voices that we're hearing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there are voices in the inside that will tell you. During the week, I was paralyzed with, I told you,
Yeah.
I was paralyzed. I couldn't even get out of bed because the devil visited me and he told me that I'm useless. Like,
Yeah.
you're so talented, but you're the most useless person ever. Where is the money?
Mm.
That's what he was telling me.
Mm.
But right now, you wake up in the morning, you go heal people, but where is the money?
Mm.
You are not getting paid for what you're doing. He told me how useless I was, and I believed it. And the whole of Monday, I was sleeping. The sun was out, but my curtains were closed.
Yes,
My daughter came and gave me a 2-year-old gave me a hug. And she wanted to put me on her, a little chest.
Yeah.
Because when she's crying, I put her
Yes.
here. So what are we saying to somebody who's listening out there and they're saying, yeah, ngizwile.
Yeah. I know abantu bazwile here outside.
Mm.
Abantu bazwile, and they are at a point where they don't believe God anymore.
Mm.
They are at that point. Ukuthi why is God leaving me? Why uNkulunkulu angiyeka? Why ayekela this situation yenzeke kimi? There's something that we forget. Some of the things that we do elifeni, we go do them ourselves without inviting God.
That's the one.
Ambulance.
That's the one.
We go do siyazenzela
Yeah.
and invite him after.
Yeah.
And izimo mesezenzeka empilweni yethu sikhala ngaye, sibize yena. And yena he's so loving, he's so open. Noma ngabe sikwenzile lokho, we went, we've done our things,
yeah.
and then he's so welcoming to say, come back, my baby.
Mila,
come back, I'm here.
where you left me?
Yeah. I'm here. So God has never ever disappointed us. And he will never start now. Now that you are going through problems. And there's one thing that you must know, Guti, no situation can move God from who he is.
Yeah. He's still the same God.
It doesn't matter what you are going through. God is still God. You must continue to trust God, love God, and ask him. You know, Mina, I've made God to be my friend.
Sure. Made
God to be your friend.
Yeah.
Open up your heart. Tell him your all. You know? Likunutu le morena. There's a song which says Likunutu le morena. Umulele tsohle. Yeah. So they don't hide anything. Because uthi letha konke kimi. So why
Amen.
So God is able. God is able. I would like to say to listeners out there, don't lose hope. uNkulunkulu uyaphila, ungiphilele mina. You know, lesikhathi esinaso, the hour that we had, incane to talk about what God did for me. You know, mengakutshela from la angithathe khona, from ebuncaneni, and I was healed by him. Mina, I went through a lot, but I was seeing his hand to say, uNkulunkulu uyaphila. And God restores you and give you dignity. Now, or you will not understand. Mina was raped from a very young age, from the age of 5, men remember correctly. Raped, gang raped, you know, until the age of 20, I think.
Sure. And I still love this God.
I love him so much because I saw him. Ahamba nami. And I told my husband also.
But did you question that? Why did you allow that?
Yes, you would question. But then with me, I saw ukuthi wangihila nokuhila. I didn't even have hate for people who abused me because that was family, some of them. But when I look at this person, I didn't have even into ukuthi I hate this person who did this to me. And I was asking myself, but am I in denial or what's happening? I don't understand. But I found ukuthi yazini, I made peace. So I realized, okay, God wanted me to go through all that for a reason. There's a purpose. Because I had to now ngikwazi ukutshela abanye abadlula kulento le engidlule kuyo mina ngibaqinise and say God is able. Because mina ungipholisile. I never even went to any counseling. I don't want to lie to you. I was counseled by him. And I can talk about it and ngingabi ngisho nobuhlungu ngaphakathi.
Sure.
That's God for you. So ngifuna ukuniqinisa ukuthi God is alive and he's a healer. And uyakugeza. Akunikeze igama elisha.
Dignity. You mentioned something.
He
restores you. Dignity.
He will restore you. I won't lie and say rape and abuse doesn't shake you. It does. And in an impact and effect.
Effects.
Yes, it does. Kodwa uNkulunkulu uyakugeza konke lokho. And the first person engamtshela, I never even told my parents growing up. Ngabatshela sengimdala ukuthi what happened to me. And azange batshele konke. But my husband ngamtshela ngathi, this is what I went through as a child. This is what, and you know, my loving husband said, it's okay. Other men, when you tell them
that, you were brave.
Yeah. Other men, when you tell them, I went through rape, multiple rapes.
It plays in their minds.
It plays in their minds to say, you know, But Mina, I don't know. It's God who said, tell him. I think God wanted him to see also Gucci, God is a comforter, God is a provider. He was also teaching him something through that, through my pains.
And also confirming to you
Yes.
that this man
is from him.
Because if you said this to another guy, they will never be so this was a confirmation.
Yes.
This man is from God.
Yes.
Sure.
That's why Nami, I relaxed. This one is from
No,
him. Indeed.
I'm a bear.
Because abanye bayabaleka vele.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sis Lena, like you said, an hour is not enough. But luckily for us, because we have this segment, as Sisters Weekend, on Chava Comes Radio for an hour. But lucky for us, God also blessed us with a TV platform where we're going to be inviting you so that you can continue with this conversation there, and people can hear about your story. Thank you so much for healing me. Thank you so much for restoring hope in me. Thank you so much for reviving my faith, because I don't know if I don't even know what because I was supposed to meet with you and my partner, but and go to your plant. But something said to me, no, invite her over for coffee. So when I invited you over for coffee, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna talk about her music. But something said to me, something's gonna happen. And your story, you left me in tears. I was laughing, crying at some point. But all I know is that when I left that place, my faith was revived. Can you quickly tell us about your music in this just 2 minutes? Or where can we find your music? What is your album? Is it out there? Where can people find it? Because you're also a gospel singer. And we're going to profile you again as Lena the gospel singer. But can you also tell about your music?
Yes, my gospel music, Ikama Malinas, and Lena Mdakane there, and Malinas, and in the album about you, Wegupela, Yatolagala on all online music shops.
Okay.
Yes, Yatolagala, Ingwekuphela, Inama July 6.
Okay.
Yes, beautiful.
Is that what we call an EP, right? Is it an EP?
It's an album.
Is the album EP?
It starts from 6.
6. Oh, albums. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All
so
right.
It's an album. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can get all online shows now with YouTube.
Yes.
You can get also even heavy video. Yeah, Umuntu Kolwayo, one of the songs.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So there's a video there.
We'll definitely check it out.
Yes.
Sis Lena, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much. I know that you and Habi are running to church right now because Unkulunkulu is the center of your life and your family.
Yes.
Thank you so much for never neglecting him, even when corner. For me, your story, I don't know. I feel somewhere and somehow me and you will connect because our journeys are more or less similar, especially now with the issue because I've always said to God, you know what? Bring me that man, that he has lost hope.
Yeah.
Bring him here.
Yeah.
I know. And I'm still trusting God for that man. So the day is in Lena, I know good I've got a mentor, somebody who's going to say much because I love a big family and there's no way that I'm going to only have one child. And there's no way that right now I can carry 10 other kids. So the one that is coming, I've already have a mentor in you because I do trust that Unkulunkulu is going to bring me that person because I still believe in Shadwini. It doesn't matter how old I am, Unkulunkulu is only later than that man. And soon I know that we'll be getting married. And I know which is not only going to come with one child, because I prayed for a big family. And I said to God, get me that man that is broken or whatever that issue that is, or who has given up. And because we tend to reject those. So now I want the rejected one. And I know rejected so that I can come and bring him hope. I've done it before. Unfortunately, my partner passed on. I can still do it again because he came with kids and I was so happy. I mothered those children as if they were mine. So I feel like the first one was a preparation of whoever that is coming in my life. And now I have a mentor who is you. So thank you so much, Sis Lena. Thank you so much to Ubaba as well. Next time I'm going to interview you guys as a couple so that we can know all these things. Yeah, we've reached the end of the show. An hour is never enough. But thank you so much, listeners, for borrowing me your ears. And thank you so much, for allowing God to minister, to you through Sis Lena, through myself this morning. This is the Soulful Weekend Show with me, my Mahlako Lady-Ann. Please stay tuned again. My colleague is here, is going to be taking you up until 12 o'clock. And we're going to meet again, same time, same place, next week, Saturday and Sunday. And God bless you. And may you, keep a positive mindset as the week starts. And I'm telling you, you'll thank me later. I'm signing out with Jesus. Victory belongs to Jesus. Stay tuned to Chava Comes Radio. Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful interview. Wow. Thank you so much. It is Opuma 9 vile ngosengcedile nami.